It's no secret that Jay-Z is used to fighting battles, but this one might be bigger than anything he's faced before. Right now, the rap mogul is being dragged into court by a man named Ramir, who claims he's Jay-Z's secret son. But this isn't just another celebrity paternity scandal, it's rapidly unraveling into accusations of hidden crimes, intimidation, and even whispers of cover-ups involving Beyonce herself. Now, as a judge demands answers from Jay-Z by July 18th, the pressure is mounting, and celebrities like 50 Cent and Nicki Minaj are adding fuel to the fire. But why is Jay-Z, known for aggressively defending himself against false accusations, suddenly hesitant to respond? Buckle up, because what's about to come to light could change everything you thought you knew about hip-hop's most powerful couple. The drama officially hit a boiling point when a judge stepped in and ordered Jay-Z to respond to Ramir's paternity case. No more silence, no more delays. According to recently surfaced court documents, Jay-Z has until July 18th to address the claims. This move has stunned fans and legal insiders alike because Jay-Z, who is usually quick to shut down baseless allegations, has been unusually quiet when it comes to Ramir. Why is that? The court's decision signals that there's enough evidence for the case to move forward, something Jay-Z's legal team has tried to avoid for years. And if you know anything about Jay-Z's track record, when he wants to make an accusation disappear, it disappears. So, the fact that this case is finally gaining traction raises the question, what is he so afraid of? But this legal battle is only part of the story, because someone else has been stirring the pot and making sure the world doesn't forget about this case, and of course, that someone is none other than 50 Cent. Leave it to 50 Cent to flip a quiet court order into front-page chaos. The moment the July 18th deadline hit the docket, 50 blasted it across social media, sprinkling his trademark sarcasm like lighter fluid. Looks like Big Homie got some explaining to do. Within hours, the story went viral. Memes, reaction videos, you name it. For a mogul who built his brand on feuds and trolling, reviving an old paternity rumor is the ultimate power move. But why poke Jay-Z now? Some insiders whisper that 50's still stung by business deals gone sideways, and nothing hits harder than dragging a rival into a family scandal. Enter Nicki Minaj, who doubled the drama with a single repost. She quoted 50's thread and wrote, "Is this why he was trending the other day? I don't know. To God be the glory." 8 innocent-looking words, yet the Barbs knew exactly how to decode them. Nicki has long hinted that Roc Nation tried to muzzle her career, and co-signing Ramir's fight feels like payback in plain sight. Almost overnight, fans began connecting the dots. Roc Nation's alleged industry strong-arming Jay-Z's silence, and now 2 superstar agitators daring him to talk. The result? A digital firestorm Jay-Z's PR team can't simply wish away. But 50 and Nicki might be just the opening act, because the next layer of accusations points straight at Beyonce, and what some claim she did to keep this story buried. As the courtroom countdown gained momentum, whispered stories about Beyonce's behind-the-scenes power plays flooded the blogs. One rumor, sparked by a YouTube expose that racked up hundreds of thousands of views in days, claimed someone in Beyonce's inner circle tried to brush Ramir off with a blunt message, "Go away, little boy." Around the same time, Ramir's godmother alleges an unknown visitor showed up at her home after dark, asking how to slip in through the back door. She interpreted it as a warning, not a casual call. If true, it suggests the Carter's camp may have relied on intimidation rather than dialogue to keep this chapter of Jay-Z's past sealed. That possibility worries even longtime fans, because Beyonce is famous for surgical image control. Think about how her team once scrubbed unflattering Super Bowl photos from the internet overnight. If she really did lean on that influence here, it raises a chilling question. How much truth can money and power bury before the public ever gets a glimpse? Yet, silencing a legal dispute isn't as simple as silencing a meme. The judge's July 18th deadline means the case now has a life of its own, one even Queen Bee can't mute. And as soon as people realize Beyonce might be standing between Ramir and the truth, sympathy for him soared. But how did this all start in the first place? Rewind to 1992. Wanda Satterthwaite, a 16-year-old from Philadelphia, says she took a spur-of-the-moment ride to Brooklyn with a rising rapper named Sean Carter. They allegedly spent the night at his aunt's apartment, used protection that failed, and parted ways after a single follow-up visit. Wanda told no one because she didn't even have Jay-Z's phone number. Decades later, Ramir says he first heard the name Jay-Z at 8 years old when his mom quietly confessed she thought the superstar was his father. If the timeline is accurate, it could expose Jay-Z to more than a paternity payout. Transporting a minor across state lines for sexual activity, is an entirely different legal beast, one that carries federal consequences. That backdrop explains why Ramir believes money alone can't fix what happened. He wants the record corrected, not a bigger bank account. According to court summaries, Jay-Z's team has acknowledged neither confirming nor legally denying that relationship, just stonewalling every test request so far. And because Wanda's longtime boyfriend, Robert Graves, was removed from the birth certificate in 2011 after a DNA mismatch, the list of potential fathers shrank to exactly one. No wonder Ramir keeps asking, if it isn't Jay-Z, why won't he simply take the test and end the speculation? Jay-Z's lawyers once argued he shouldn't have to swipe his cheek in New Jersey because he never owned property there. That excuse collapsed when Ramir unearthed an old passage in Tina Knowles Lawson's memoir, casually mentioning Jay-Z's New Jersey condo. Suddenly, jurisdiction wasn't so murky. Yet the superstar still refuses the cotton swab, an odd strategy for someone who famously pounced on a rape lawsuit last year with an immediate 40-page rebuttal. Observers suspect the DNA dodge protects against bigger risks. Admitting he fathered a child with a minor could invite criminal inquiry, civil suits, or both. In court filings obtained by E! News, Jay-Z's team now calls Ramir's pursuit decades-long harassment. But to outsiders, that phrasing sounds hollow, because one cheek swab would end the harassment forever, unless the result is the very thing they fear. The stalemate kept grinding through appeals courts until the new judge finally said enough. With the deadline locked in, Jay-Z can no longer hide behind procedural fog. Still, before the gavel drops, it's worth asking how many back-channel deals tried and failed to keep this story buried. Long before social media smelled blood, Wanda Satterthwaite quietly filed for child support. A clerical error, wrong state, wrong court, got the case tossed. When Ramir came of age, he picked up the baton, but Jay-Z's attorneys argued he wasn't domiciled in New Jersey, stalling discovery again. After state-level losses, Ramir even petitioned the U.S. Supreme Court. They dismissed it for lack of jurisdiction. Undeterred, he refiled in the appellate division of the New Jersey Superior Court, where today's showdown was born. What most people don't know is that Jay-Z's camp allegedly proposed a private settlement years ago, conditional on silence. Ramir's godmother says they floated the idea of signing him to Rock the Nation once he finished high school, then abruptly cut off talks when they realized there was more at stake for Sean. This sudden pivot feeds the narrative that hush money, not the truth, was on the table. If those covert negotiations sound cynical, consider the paper trail. Multiple dismissed motions, sealed records, and unexplained delays. Critics say it's a clinic in how wealth stretches justice until ordinary families give up, but this family did. And now, with fresh legal oxygen, the next round of testimony could turn the music mogul's courtroom into must-see TV. Yet Jay-Z's biggest headache might not be Ramir at all. It could be a platinum-selling rapper he once called Little Sister. Nicki Minaj didn't just like 50 Cent's post. She amplified it to her 80 million strong fan base, adding a cryptic, "To God be the glory." In the days that followed, she ripped Rock Nation and its CEO, Desiree Perez, claiming they sabotaged her career, shadow banned her social accounts, and even targeted her family. Screenshots of those posts spread like wildfire across Instagram Reels and Twitter threads. Her timing is lethal. While Jay-Z juggles a looming paternity suit, Nicki accuses the rock camp of silencing dissenting artists, a narrative that dovetails perfectly with Ramir's claims of legal intimidation. Spanish outlets covering her July 16th feud with SEA noted that Minaj's rage was openly tied to Justicia para Demorir, a hashtag supporting the daughter of Rocket Nation's own chief, who says she was committed to a psychiatric facility against her will. To Nicki, that example shows a pattern. Powerful people punishing anyone who speaks out. Industry insiders call Nicki's assault scorched earth PR. She's forcing hip-hop media to link her grievances with Ramir's lawsuit, turning two separate storms into a single hurricane aimed squarely at Jay-Z. And because Minaj is unfiltered, each new post risks fresh headlines Jay-Z's team can't control. Yet the most disturbing allegations don't come from Nicki's timeline, they come from Ramir's police reports. Ramir says the pushback hasn't been limited to legal briefs. He claims someone fired at his car shortly after he filed a civil suit, later planting contraband so police could haul him in. Online photos show a bullet-scarred door panel and a handwritten warning left on his windshield. His lawsuit also accuses Jay-Z allies of fraudulently placing liens on his family home, draining cash while they fought in court. These are allegations, not proven facts. But if even one is true, it paints a picture of intimidation that reaches way beyond hyperbole. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's new filing frames himself as the real victim, citing emotional distress from Ramirez's decades-long harassment. The reversal plays poorly on social media, where the optics of a billionaire crime victimhood against a middle-class family feel tone-deaf. For every publicist-approved statement Jay-Z releases, Ramirez counters with another receipt, a sworn affidavit, a timestamped property record, a line in a Knowles family book, and every receipt keeps the hashtag #TakeTheTest trending. The clock is ticking toward July 18th. Ramirez insists he wants neither back pay nor glory, just the truth. That singular focus has won him unexpected allies in 50 Cent, Nicki Minaj, and a growing chorus of fans who see his fight as a David versus Goliath saga for the streaming era. With the judge's deadline looming, all eyes are on what Jay-Z will do next. A single swab could end 13 years of accusation, rumor, and conspiracy. Yet, for every day Jay-Z stays silent, the questions grow louder. Did a teenage romance turn illegal? Did industry titans collude to bury evidence? And will the world's most famous music couple sacrifice more of their pristine legacy to keep this story locked away? Ramirez believes the legal system finally leveled the playing field. Jay-Z's camp insists it's just another stunt. On July 18th, a judge will decide who speaks, who stalls, and whether the truth finally sees daylight. Until then, 50 Cent keeps trolling, Nicki Minaj keeps tweeting, and fans keep refreshing their feeds, waiting for the moment hip-hop's biggest mystery either detonates or disappears back into the shadows. Whichever outcome unfolds, one thing is certain: the music industry's power games have never felt this personal, this public, or this dangerously close to unraveling.